through.
Welcome once again to Inside LAFC, the MVP podcast from glorious Alhambra, where the temperature is fantastic. You can hear the wind in my microphone, I'm sure, but we're expecting heat in the summertime. And we have a nice, cool breeze here. I don't want to bury the lead here because it's technically not the MVP podcast because Jordan Harvey's jumping in here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Fill in on a podcast. I've done a few in the past, but not with such a professional like yourself.
Oh, great. Vince is like running with the Bulls or something. I don't know. But he's not here, but we'll welcome him back.
Yeah, I am not Vince. He thinks that we get confused with one another, but I'm telling you right now, that's not the truth.
You're confused.
Plus, I got my initials right here somewhere, so it helps.
I always love that when you see the when you turn to management, you get your initials on there.
Yeah.
JM with Jose Mourinho was always my favorite. I'd see, but you look like a little bit when your head was shaved, but your head hasn't been shaved in a long time.
No, I have a little bit of it, so I'm gonna try to keep it as long as possible until the day comes, and then it's gone again.
It's lucky you could do that because when I shave my hair off, it's gone. It's gone permanently.
Yeah, we'll talk to Vince about that.
Okay, I hang on to what I have. Just a reminder what you're doing with the club, because I know some folks are aware that listen to the pod. You are a true ambassador, and I always tell you how valuable it is to have someone like you who has put the time in that the fans, the supporters can align with, relate with, and now have come out into your post-playing career and still have that attachment. That's very valuable for a club that's so young.
Yeah, I'm glad for that, right?
Yeah.
Spent the 4 years here, had an amazing time, but I've been here since day one, right? So I know the culture, I know the team, I know the playing model, and I know, the people and the players. So it really helps my role in transitioning into life after soccer. My playing career has been tough, but it's also been a lot of fun. It's been broadcasting with yourself, which is awesome and something that's totally
You're off to a
new
great
me.
start, man. I gotta say.
Thank you very much. Having a lot of fun with that. And then, as you said, an ambassador role. So now we're working with a lot of the community outreach and doing potential clinics coming up over the summertime, and then even more so. And then working with different partnerships and kind of embracing that ambassador role and what LAF represents, which I'm really proud that they have allowed me to fulfill that. And then, obviously, in the coaching side of things. So a lot of player development.
Lots of hats.
Yeah, lots of hats. And the player development program that we're creating with Marco Garces upstairs is almost finished, and now it's like carrying it out. And so I'm really excited about that.
There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers too. You have the Las Vegas
so many
Lights,
layers. So we're probably about 2 in, but he's a super intelligent guy. I love bouncing things off of him, and with my MLS experience and his global experience, it's really fun working with him. And then I'm on the field a lot of the time with the first team, some with the Las Vegas Lights, and then the academy team, which I did last year a lot with the 15s, knowing that this was going to happen eventually, and getting my coaching badge license. And so a lot of hats, a lot of fun.
Good.
Love just being around.
That's what I always say. Don't stay in your lane. Run into other lanes because you want to see how it all is, and you're doing a fantastic job of that. By the way, I forgot to mention at the top, we'll be joined by LAFC goalkeeper John McCarthy, who's starting the U.S. Open Cup game. We'll talk about his life here in L.A., coming from Philadelphia. You're going to really enjoy that. He's a very colorful, funny, just a guy who pulls you in.
One of my favorite, and I've said this probably, it's getting old now, I've said one of my favorite signings of the offseason, probably to 5 different guys, but it's true in different ways. Every signing has really contributed already so much to the club and the roster.
I'm always amazed with goalkeepers because, look, if you're a midfielder, there's room. It could be 3 or 4 spots. You can come in for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Same with defenders, same with attackers. Not the same with goalkeepers. And, he came and Maxime Crépeau was going to be the guy here. We never know what could happen. Knock on wood, injury or a form issue, but he knew that he was going to be here, and he would have to provide a lift for this team, be valuable for the team in different ways, and it seems like he's knocking it out of the park in that category.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic, a backup goalkeeper, and almost you can draw a lot of correlations with Maxime Crépeau and on the field stuff. The LAFC goalkeeper doesn't see a lot of shots, but when they do, it's in spurts, and it's they have to be on. And the same is somewhat with a backup goalkeeper. You aren't going to see a lot of games with Maxime Crépeau as your starter, but you're going to get spots here and there, and you have to be ready. And John McCarthy's attitude, his personality, exudes confidence, and his communication skills, always talking, always being a glue guy in the locker room, on the field. It's huge to have, not only in training sessions, but knowing he can just jump in when called upon.
Glad you're here, Jordan, because we can talk about that. We also want to talk about the game for this weekend. LAFC, busy week with Open Cup, and then they have FC Cincinnati, get to see their new ballpark. But this Sporting Kansas City game, for me, they came in, there was question marks. Obviously, the Galaxy result, how are they going to be affected by that? Playing Easter Sunday, which can be very distracting because everyone has family, whether it's church going, whether it's just family time, those kind of things you think about, and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I hate to use the word trap game, but maybe it was one of those. And then LAFC falls behind early, and then this response, which just illuminated the stadium. Because with me, I said it's not going to be great at 1 o'clock on a Sunday because people may not be into it. But boy, and I give credit to the players, and obviously the 32-52, they energized that place. Scored 3 unanswered to be able to score a very important win, which moves them back to the top of the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's a common theme with LAFC, which hopefully breaks as the season goes on. But teams are getting a good start. It was with Orlando. It's when, even with Miami, I wouldn't say Miami played well, but we just didn't start with intention and real purpose. And you saw that after Kansas City scored. Right after that, maybe not the 1 minute after, I think they got a corner, but right after that you saw real purpose and intention with LAFC, getting chance after chance, and then they broke it down, got the goal, and we've talked a lot about depth, and it's so important, and a guy like Tajouri-Shradi coming on and hitting a banger like he did. He's done it against us, as you've seen in 2018, and even in New York, I think it was 21. But he scores bangers, and that was one of the top ones I've seen.
He is loathed all over the league because he scores goals. I was doing research for the Orlando game, and I talked to, and obviously playing in New York City FC, they play Orlando more frequently, and I was talking to the announce team there and go, no, that guy killed us all the time.
He can play.
He's got this, and so I'm so glad he's here because now Sporting Kansas City is like Ismael Tajouri-Shradi and Steve Cherundolo. Before I ask you this, where would that goal rank? Because when I saw that, I had this very distinctive reaction because it was so unexpected. It came from 80 yards back.
Yeah.
And I was just held back, and the people next to me had the same reaction. I've talked to people about it. I look at the reaction even from the 32-52. There was like a moment pause. Dave Denholm was caught off guard. John Champion is a broadcaster. You can't blame them because... Yeah. I mean, that was one of the, I'd say, top 5 goal I've seen in that building, and that's saying a lot.
I would agree with top 5. I've had comments, I think it was Thorington said that was one of the best goals he's seen, like just a real banger out of nowhere that LAFC's ever scored. And it brings up a Laurent Simon free kick, but that is, you're anticipating that, right? This one was so, like you said, caught off guard, a ball over top, and you think he has nothing to do with that. There's 2 guys coming, they're gonna close him down, and just out of nothing, he caught Melia off guard for sure as well. He was kind of just sliding over. But yeah, I would say a top 5. Diego scored some real good goals, kind of in that similar fashion, whether they were crosses or goals are up for debate, or shots are up for debate. But yeah, nothing like that. And Tajouri, Brian goes down, and there's a real confidence around the team, coaching staff, when you can put in a Tajouri-Shradi. And the same is the case now with Franco Escobar, who's coming back from fitness. But Tajouri was somebody that at the beginning of the season, he had a little knock, right? And so you didn't really put him into the fold. And now as the season's progressing, all these guys are really coming together and contributing in great ways. So it's been really nice so far.
They're coming off the bench, and obviously everyone says, well, super sub, but if you're playing that well off the bench, you'd like to start. And it's part of the dilemma that Steve Cherundolo has. And I know when he was asked afterwards, he would say, everyone would say, what a great response. And he would say, well, I'd like to get a better start. Yeah. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that. And you have to think LAFC are really close to getting off a good start. Even against the Galaxy, I saw you at halftime. We were like, they played well. They're down 2 goals. It's not an excuse, but it's the way this sport goes sometimes. But obviously, to alleviate slow starts, if you can call them that, that's not the best way to phrase it.
It's more like lethargic or unintentional like starts. It's not really moving the ball with real purpose.
Yeah.
Is really what it is. or playing in behind, like with real
there was
intention.
purpose. Like this Sunday, there was purpose after.
Yes, absolutely. And you could see we can control the game and we could put passes together, but then breaking the lines. And then once you break those lines, really going at the back line with real intention and purpose, like we've talked about. And you've seen it in doses for sure. Hopefully you don't want to go down a goal for it to really come about, like Steve is alluding to. But there's real substance in how we're playing. And it goes with two ways. The Galaxy game, you saw a really good brand in between the boxes, but then in the boxes, we gave up the Chicharito kind of fading to the back post, falling asleep on the other goal. And so now it's putting everything together, and that's how you really go into a game, start bright, and then just control it throughout. And you've seen it in the past with LAFC, and this team has so much potential, and I know it's going to come at some point.
As a second-half team, still have not conceded a goal in the second half, and they're scoring a ton.
Amazing.
But the substitution situation, which continues to show a golden touch for Steve Cherundolo when he brings guys in. This time it was Tajouri-Shradi and Sifu come off the bench to score. Danny Masovsky came off the bench and almost made it 3 for 3. What is, and you're around the club, but what is that dimension like when Steve talks to these guys? You're going to come off the bench, and we're going to require, and the proof is in the pudding. We've had guys come in and make an impression. And it seems like guys are really stepping to the, it doesn't seem, it is. They are stepping to the plate in that role, knowing that they can alter a game.
Absolutely. When you have a roster with depth, not only does it create competition, it creates good training sessions. So then the level is being raised because there's no real first team, second team. If you mix it up, the level is it stays at a high level. You don't drop off after, say, the 14th guy to 22. You have real depth that creates competition, good level of training, and then people with opportunities. When you are given opportunities, it creates a real sense of purpose that you have for the team. So not only if you're going to get an opportunity, but taking that opportunity, knowing that if you do, more will come. All of those things, when there's no cracks in that armor and someone maybe not getting an opportunity that maybe deserves it, or someone that doesn't deserve it getting an opportunity. I know I'm going on a rant here.
No, I think it's great.
But when you have a real roster that is set and solid and people know their role and then can fill that role, I think that's huge. And it creates not only the competition, but it creates real camaraderie within that locker room.
Look, if you're around this team, you see it all the time. And you'll notice that with John McCarthy when we see it, these guys, remember so many, 8 of them were new to this club, and you can't really tell when you're around this because it's very positive. Obviously, winning games goes a long way, but we've seen it with the Shalalas. You see it with the LAFC, and they lap it up.
But like all the guys that have come in have really bought in. They've really bought in. They've seen it from afar. You talk to John or you talk to Maxime Acosta. They've seen it from a distance, Hollingshead, and they're like, man, that looks like an amazing environment. And then they get here and they're like, I am all in. It is an amazing environment. And so, yes, you have the shalalas, you have the chants, but it's the stuff in the locker room that I really love to see, bringing everyone together. There's no cliques. It's everybody really working together in a really good way. And it gives me the feel of a 2018 when everybody was kind of coming in. They were in the same boat. And because these players that we've picked up are so impactful and so huge in this roster, that it creates that environment that everybody's kind of in the same boat and learning to work together for the first time. So everybody's open.
So many great performances, and I try not to single out, so I'm not going to, but I know, Cheeky, to me, I mean, he was involved in the Johnny Russell goal, and people are going, he should have done better. But when I look at the 2 balls he played, those were maybe the best 2 he's played, and a sign that he's continued to grow in that position. Everyone working so hard. Mamadou, I've seen a guy who's gotten rid of mistakes. I mean, he's still a kid, but when I see that he's able to push that aside, you look at a defender that is elite because he can defend, he can play with his feet, he can jump.
Yeah.
4 feet, 5 feet above the ground. It's pretty. I mean, I don't see players like that.
And the stats reflect it. The stats reflect that he is one of the top defenders in this league. And to your point, from preseason until now, he has developed quite a bit. And when you talk about some of the passes that he makes,
is it?
And I love working with him on this. It's you know, the timing of the passes. It's 1-2 touch, playing simple, not trying to overdo it or hit that pass that like breaks down a team. Finding Ilie, finding Acosta, finding Latif or your outside backs. Just playing very simple, but 1-2 touch makes this team very effective. Not just lumping it in behind because you think it might come off. Waiting for the right moment, and he can hit that pass too. He has great touch, great control, and he has great distribution. He can hit any pass in the game with that right foot.
Any pass, yeah.
Any pass.
I don't doubt it. It's pretty incredible. So LAFC tied for points with Philadelphia for the best point total in Major League Soccer. Now they head off to Cincinnati, and these guys have to be excited about these East Coast trips because they've been successful on the first 2 that they've had down in Florida, and now this Cincinnati team, which is improving.
Yeah.
It's going to be a national game again. I believe it's on FS1, and LAFC. It's challenge to challenge. What do you expect here? What are the guys like when they go on the road trips? How is that?
I mean, I don't go on the road. Now not playing, I have.
You don't do any of the road trips.
I don't do the road trips.
How did you
It's kind of nice.
Wrangle that?
It's kind of nice. That's the perk of.
Do you go to the airport and say goodbye as they board?
I just ship them off.
Have a great flight, guys.
Yeah, but the mentality has been the same at home. So this Kansas City game is much like how they've been playing on the road. It's just, you know, maybe not the best start like we've talked about, but they know how to win games. They know how to win with set pieces, which is huge going through a season and potentially into the playoffs. Set pieces are a massive component of the game that really sways a team from winning a championship and not. So being good at those is huge, and they've been doing that great on the road. So going to a place like Cincinnati, a new stadium, I mean, this is one that I would love to go to just because of these new stadiums now that are popping up throughout the league. It's going to be a good environment. LAFC, much like you know, the top-end teams in this league, I feel like when I've played against top-end teams, they always bring a lot of fans, not just road fans, but your own fans then come out because they want to see these players. So it's going to be a great environment, to my point. And, you know, Kenny Arena is there now. So there is some LAFC ties there. Kenny was here for the 4 years, and now he's there. I'm sure working with defenders nonstop, saying go to the ball and offensive marking. And man, I've Kenny's voice drilled into my head. So I'm sure he's doing a great job down there. And I think it's that new staff is where you can contribute their improvement.
Yeah, Pat Noonan and they again.
Dominic Kinnear, Kenny Arena, yeah.
One of these clubs that just has never fulfilled any of their preseason hopes, but they're certainly doing that here. And it is a great stadium. I had a chance to see it for the U.S. game, and it feels like you're in Germany or the Netherlands. Or
that is like U.S. team's hub now, isn't it?
It should. I think it should be here too.
Yes.
I know they wouldn't do that, but just food for thought. Because I know they have the Leagues Cup coming up.
Yes,
yes. It's gonna be fun at SoFi Stadium.
That'll be amazing. I'm hearing they're bringing in grass, so that'll be great. And the atmosphere there, it'll be interesting. It's a massive stadium, but you're also bringing some rival teams in one stadium, so it'll be interesting how they handle that, but it will be, I'm sure, a great atmosphere.
No Miguel Herrera for America, so we can't have Ante versus Miguel part 2.
Oh, God.
As much as we would like to see that.
I think Ante would, too.
Hey, we're just getting started. We're going to get back, and we're going to have the interview here with John McCarthy. You're going to love him, LAFC fans. You can see all the work he is doing to get Maxime ready, to get his team ready for every game, and starting to play some games as well, because, you know, if you practice hard for this team, you're going to get some games. This is Inside LAFC MVP Podcast. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. We'll be back with John McCarthy. We're back here on Inside LAFC. I can't officially call it the MVP Podcast. Be the MJ, that doesn't work. MJP podcast. That doesn't matter. What does matter is we're here with John McCarthy, the big man. And go, welcome to your first appearance.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we gonna point out the obvious that Vince isn't here?
No, we've established that.
We've established that. I just don't want people to think that because he thinks that we look alike, Vince is still here.
We're recording these out of order, so at the beginning we will address that. And then they would have known it. It's like Willy Wonka's house in here. Where we
Gotcha.
I was going to say, who's Vince?
Oh, no.
You don't know who Vince is? Of course he knows. Of course he knows. We know who you are. And it's the first. Listen, I remember the first thing I remember hearing when you arrived and they asked a Super Bowl pick and they go Rams or Bengals. Your answer was Eagles. And I go, you can take the kid out of Philadelphia.
Go Birds. Easy enough.
Philadelphia, man, they got some good soccer.
Yeah, I mean the Union's doing all right now. You know, I don't really support them anymore because you got to play against them and all. But like,
you did support them.
Yeah,
that was
it's my team. It's my hometown team. So I'm a Philly kid through and throughout.
And so you're supporting every team, Philly. I see you coming in here with Sixers jerseys.
Oh, Sixers.
We're all
Toronto
about it
just
right
got
now.
Smacked yesterday. It was easy money. I don't even know why they showed up. You know, it was 20 points in the third quarter. I could have taken a nap. You know.
Is this the year?
You hope every year's the year, but realistically, you got some guys, and I guess when you say there's no real like power teams out there, there's no super teams out there that can like really take it. Yeah, we have 3 good players and a fourth role piece. You know, we do.
How serious he got?
I'm serious.
That's the worst thing to give Philly fans is a little bit of hope.
A little bit of hope, dude, because I need to demand the most.
And then it's heartbreak,
it's
heartbreak.
Yeah.
What is the one team as your Philadelphia fandom that you would put over all the others
Sixers.
to win? Sixers? Really?
Yeah.
I was expecting to hear Eagles, but it's Sixers first.
No, I'm a Sixers fan. Yeah. Football
good for you.
Football for me is like my family likes it, family friends like it, all that stuff, like good friends. Like for me, you fall asleep in the first, you wake up in like the third or the fourth. You know, you can enjoy it. You know, but no, I still support the Eagles and stuff like that. I still watch the games.
Okay, so I played in Philly a couple years.
Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah.
I love the Philly people, the character.
Oh, they're great.
Where do you think that comes from? It's just a blue collar, hardworking mentality, but it's honest to your face. Which
there's no beating around the bush. You're going to get exactly what they want. You know, like the blue collar, working hard mentality is spot on.
Is that in the upbringing, or is that just something like you guys just talk a lot of smack on the playground? And it just trickles through all the way.
Yeah, you talk. Can I curse on this? I was going to say talk a lot.
I said smack.
Talk a lot of shit.
We'll have to edit it out, so it's just more work for us.
You know, and talking smack is like a good thing. You know, it like embraces you as like a person.
Sign of respect.
Yeah, sign of respect. So if you can take it, you can give it, and that's just how people were brought up in Philly. That's how you're brought up. You talk to each other that way, and you know it's in good manner, good meaning. You know, that's just how Philly people are. And I think guys start to pick up on my mannerisms here. That's how I am day in and day out. You know, I dish things out all the time, and me and Jordan get into it from time to time. It's just life. That's how.
You just gotta be able to take it.
Yeah,
right?
if you can't take it, then fuck. Yeah, that's a Philly me. Yeah. Then fucking
that's not true. Some of the guys inside the dining hall are looking and laughing, so we know you dish it out because they're sitting there going, they're gonna dish it out your way.
I almost caught myself, and I was like, screw it. Well, I catch myself. That's exactly how I would talk anyway.
Yeah.
So, like,
the one thing about Philly, and we can't really make this too much about Philly, obviously.
Yeah.
But the one thing is like the folks from Philly, and it's that old song is that nobody likes us and we don't care. But it's like if you don't like, we'll be nice if you don't like us, we don't care.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's how it is. You know,
Good.
I'm friends with you. I like you. You know, if you don't like me, then
hit the bricks.
Whatever, man. I ain't got nothing against you for not liking me. I'm not forcing you to like me. That's just
no one's not liked you though.
Okay, but talking about liking, and I know there's probably gonna be a third answer here, but Pats or Geno's?
Nah, it doesn't matter. They're like go out, have a good time out, then you go to Pats or Geno's. They're like the touristy. They're the cheesesteaks you go to. I go to local spots, Steak and Hoagie, where it's in Northeast Philadelphia. That's the spot I go to.
Steak and Hoagie works.
I grew up going to that spot. That was like the special day, like once a month you'd get that. You know, that was the spot for us.
You got to send this to them. Maybe you get a few when you head home.
I would love it. I hope they're still open, but
See, when I hear the Philadelphia folks, I go to Pats and Geno's and go, this is fantastic. I can eat this all day. I'm like, no, don't go there. I go, but it tastes great.
No, long lines, average.
Long lines, yes. That's a different story. Coming to LAFC, this was you came at Maxime Crépeau, so you agreed afterwards, and this was obviously a new start. What did you know about the club, and what excited you about joining this team?
Yeah, all I knew about the club was they were winning on all levels. You know, they were winning they won everything that you could possibly win in one season besides the final. You know, that's where I looked at LAFC, and obviously they had the one off last year. You had a rough season. So
it was all Jordan's fault.
The highs and the lows.
No, that happens. But
he's the worst.
Wait, you were on Miami last year?
But since that happened, you know, let's just keep talking now. But no, since that happened, you guys, as a club, everyone looked at LAFC and was like, wow, they're what, 3-4 years old, and they're competing and winning and doing it the right way. So that's where my mindset was when I got a phone call that there might be an opportunity to come here. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be a part of. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to push to play and push to lift their trophy in some way, you know.
And then in the off season, I mean, your player profile is somebody LAFC was obviously looking for. We signed a lot of MLS experience, coming from Philly to Miami now here. How do you feel like you're gelling with the group? Because I feel like you are a major glue guy on this roster now.
I appreciate that. You know, I don't know. I just try to enjoy the moment. You know, I try to enjoy every day. It's like it's a job, but it's a dream to do this every single day. I think everyone would say that realistically. And with the group of guys that we have a good group of guys, and like you said, we have some good veterans on the team. But when it's a new team, you try to pull everyone in, and I really try to include everyone and talk shit to everyone. You know, that's what I try to do.
It works though.
Enjoy it. No, you do.
It loosens up, lubricates the team, and
you know, it's not just the players; it's with the staff too. You really try to enjoy it with them. You know, you don't want to just. It is when you cross the white line. Yeah, it's business for me. I'm a business. Like I locked in. I'm focused. But like after training, before training, yeah, let's enjoy it. You know.
You worked hard in your career to become a professional goalkeeper. We could see it with your path going to college and coming here. You have proven you could be a #1 goalkeeper. Here Maxime's the #1, and you, as you said, you do things to help keep things light. But how is that? How do you make that time so that you're essential for the club with your communication or whatever it is that you have to do to make sure that you have an active role?
I just train every day like I want to win in everything I do. So my mentality is when I go out there, I play to win, and I play that I'm going to play on the weekends. Like you said, Maxi's the #1, spot on. But I'm playing that if an opportunity does come my way, I want to be able to step right in and nobody blinks an eye. Every single day, that's how I train. And that's how I want to be known. And whether that opportunity does come around, that's what I want. But if it doesn't, I want people to know that I give it my all every single day.
What's the relationship been like with Maxime? Because it's great.
Maxi, Tomas, Oka, really, really good guys. And when Omar comes up with the USL, we have a good group to train with every day and push each other. And I think we hold each other to a very high level. And I think that goes a long way, and I think it shows.
It's a lot of fun when you're playing handball every morning.
One time we play handball. Play handball one time, and of course it's
you're
a
handball.
We play handball one time.
Olympian.
It's a one time they're doing sprints. The field players are doing sprints the one time, so they gave us smack because we did handball one time all season.
Oh, it's on the sideline. I can see it right now.
Oh yeah,
it's on hand.
Yeah.
There's a lot of types of handballs. Is it off the wall, or is it just
smash ball?
smash ball? Okay.
Now it's
What's
like
it called?
very popular amongst the front office now into the goalkeepers.
Yeah.
A lot of hand-eye coordination. I can see why it's helpful, but it's a lot of laughs over there. So
you have to
hopefully
enjoy
you
it.
take it serious.
You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. That's why I said we play on the outside. When you cross the inside of the white lines, then it's serious. But we play right off the field, so the mentality stays the same.
I really see how much you enjoy it. I envy you. I mean, it's like you really both feet in and doing this. It's fantastic, and I feel great because the club you're here, and we all need that. Everyone needs that.
Yeah.
The broadcasters, we see that, and it's great. Playing at that stadium and seeing the 32-52 and seeing what they bring, what is that? What comes to mind when you see that kind of atmosphere?
It's sick, man. It's really sick. Like you say, there's like good supporters, there's good fans across good stadiums across the league, but then you get out there and every single game, these dudes are bouncing back and forth. These dudes are yelling for 90 straight minutes. You know, obviously they take their halftime break like everyone else, but still they're yelling nonstop. And once that whistle blows and they're yelling, you get the chills for like 10 seconds straight, whether you're playing or not playing, and then you're locked in. But then to have them in your corner, that goes a long way.
So what you just mentioned as far as the soccer side of things, my favorite part of my career is when I had kids, and you have one on the way.
Yeah.
Are you
Congrats.
excited to be able to share that aspect of your life? I know probably it'll take a year or two, but that aspect of your life, sharing that with my kids was the most special moment of my career. Are you guys excited about that?
Yeah, Jackie and I have talked about it. Like, it's like a stage in your career that you want to play for as long as you can, but if you do get the opportunity to have kids during your career, I picture and I see other players like Maxi this weekend, Ryan this weekend. You have the opportunity to walk out there on your field with your kid. You know, obviously my going to be bundled up or
you'll carry it.
Newborn, you know, I'll carry the kid around for a little bit. But then, like, when the kid's 1 or 2 and you get to jog around on the field and that's something that I look forward to. You know, I get a little emotional thinking about it because it's truly like a stepping stone that you don't know if you ever really will get there because you never know how your career is going to go. But one, it's play soccer and have your kid walk around. Two, it's like I'm a dad now. Like, holy crap.
You're on dad time.
Yeah.
It's a lot more professionalism, a lot more efficiency with your time in and out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I know you're going to take it on with both hands. And those moments, whether it's pictures, carrying your kid out into the field, or if they're old enough now to be running around the field, kicking goals, it's going to be special for you. I'm really excited.
Thank you. My little nephew's coming, actually, and I want to get him on the field. So.
That too.
This is a soccer podcast, but now thanks to Jordan, I have to call my dad. I feel so.
A little emotional, man.
It
It's
is a little emotional.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Your lady's here. Jackie?
Yeah, she's here.
So there's a chance that baby's going to be a Los Angelino.
Is that what they call him? Is that what they call him?
Get a lot of grief when they go back to Philly at some point.
That soft LA kid coming back to Philly.
Oh, man.
That's what they call them.
Born on the beach, they said.
Born on the beach.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Before I let you go, but
What was it, Los Angelina?
Los Angelino.
Los Angelino, okay.
Got to put a little a Spanish
It's
flavor.
what is it, like a Kenzo? Where are you from?
Yo, Kenzo. What a shout that is.
Are you from like Northern
I
Liberties?
know. I live there.
Okay.
Yeah, Kenzo's a great shout.
Kenzo,
Wow.
that was the bartender in Philly. He was a Kenzo.
He's a Kenzo, yeah.
Well, Philadelphia-
Did he have all his teeth?
He was faking. He could have pulled him out.
Yeah, for sure.
Philadelphia and North Jersey, we've had a lot of folks from there come through these doors. So there's a brotherhood. But what is the soccer scene out like that? How do you get involved? Where you say this is a sport I want? Because I'm looking at you. You look like you could play a lot of sports.
Basketball too.
Yeah. How tall are you?
Basketball, 6'3".
6'3".
I love basketball. Like I said about the Sixers, like
Of course, it's all coming
that's my
together.
team, that's my team. But like I told Jordan this before, like on my off days, I like to go out and shoot. In my community, there's actually a hoop, so like I just go out and shoot for like 45 minutes to an hour by myself. Like this is what I did when I was in Philly.
Great.
When I was in Philly, I lived at home with my parents for 3 years. Sunday night from like 3:30 to like 9 o'clock at night, whether I training or practice next day, I was playing basketball for that long. There was runs for like hours upon hours that like guys would show up to the courts. It was phenomenal in the summertime. I'm telling you, I would go out and just.
And when
play.
did you meet Jackie? Not during that time.
I knew Jackie since college.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was already part of it. I played intramurals in college. You know, I played on the guys and girls team, the co-ed team in college for intramural basketball. We won a City 6 championship.
I
It was
see
sick.
you backing down some women in the paint.
No, so that's a different story. That's a different story. So no, that's a different story. That's a whole.
We're going down the wrong alley.
No, it's a good alley. It's a good alley. It's a
great.
good alley because we played and we had like a bunch of girls on our team and it was guys and we showed up to this tournament in City 6. So you play Villanova, you play St. Joe's. The winner of each school shows up.
Oh, so you're serious.
We were dead serious. We won. We won LaSalle, and when we got there, we were like winning, and then all of a sudden, this dude from St. Joe's blocks one of our girls. And my buddy Mike Horn, he goes, "Yeah, we're playing serious now. We're swatting chicks. We're like, yeah, we're here. We were playing all friendly and stuff, dude. We were
You
playing,
started this.
Yeah, we were playing friendly, and then you blocked one of the girls on our team.
Yeah,
We were like,
it's
yeah,
on.
come on, man.
It's on.
And he was like, we're playing. I was like, okay, it's on. We blew him out by like 45.
There we go.
Well,
That's his mentality, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me ask you this because it's an opportunity. But playing basketball, do you see that helping you in soccer?
Absolutely.
Hand eyes,
Absolutely.
all of that.
I played my whole life. I played up until senior high school. You know, I had to give up like high school ball, but I still played with my friends on like a travel team and stuff like that.
But coming out for crosses, different things like
No,
that. The
going
timing
up
of
for
the ball.
rebounds,
Yeah,
shuffling,
100%.
defending. I prided myself on prided. I don't even know if that's a word. I pride
You do.
myself. Yeah.
Proud of myself, yeah.
Used
I
correctly.
said prided though, so I think.
Pride is
Yeah, you're from
incorrect.
Philly. You get fast every once
I
in a while.
prided it in myself
There we go.
on my defensive ability. Like I took it as like a challenge to lock down the best guy on the other team, and that was my thing. I loved doing that. I really did enjoy that growing up. So.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, and I know I speak for everyone. It's great that you're here because the energy is palpable, and I feel like running through. And I know David Cameron, you guys are waiting. If you win 3 in a row,
We did.
The Philly, you did.
We did. We gotta just order something.
You got to order the cheesesteaks, which I don't know how that's going to arrive.
We talked to Larry Bird about it too. He wants in on it. So I don't know if you want in on it.
The owner, Larry Bird.
The owner, yeah, the
Larry
actual
Bird
owner.
is in on it.
Yeah, because he's from that area, around that area. So like,
I'm not going to say no.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, my first day when I arrived, he was he was at the airport and he was trying to get the Eagles game on, and I told him to score because it couldn't come through, and he's like, "Oh, obviously the Eagles are winning," so he was very happy.
Yeah.
So I felt I was a good employee that day. Sorry, hooking you up. John McCarthy, learn to love him. One of the best here and joining us on the Inside LAFC MVP podcast for now.